Hello everybody, my name is Rebecca and welcome to day 7 of my 7-day YouTube challenge in which I've been filming, editing and posting a video every day for 7 days, so every day of this week. And for my 7th video this week, I wanted to share some of the things that I've learnt from this seemingly meaningless experience made up of completely arbitrary rules that I set for myself, but has actually turned out to be kind of a valuable experience. Number 1. You can make anything into a YouTube video. When you think of YouTube, you might think about it in categories such as video essays, ASMR, comedy videos, clips of this character once said from certain TV shows. But because I only had a day to make each of my videos, that was not a lot of planning time, not a lot of filming time, and not a lot of editing time. And I usually had other stuff going on in the day as well. So I just ended up filming what I could. So none of my videos really fit into the typical YouTube categories or typical trends or anything that you'd usually see on YouTube, and some of them are more obscure than others. But I did not want to give up on this challenge, even though it was purely self-inflicted, purely something that I set up for myself to do myself. Not confining myself to typical YouTube structures actually helped me be more productive. For example, there was one day where it was already like 3 p.m. in the afternoon and I hadn't done anything and I wasn't feeling particularly productive or energetic and I didn't know what to do. I ended up cleaning my room just so I could make a vlog being like, clean my room with me. And had I not been in the middle of a YouTube challenge, I never would have had that motivation to tidy my room or create that video, and I just would have probably done nothing of impact that day except for scrolling and watching The Flash, probably, because that's what I'm binging at the moment. So I ended up doing something that was needed and productive because I was holding myself accountable through my YouTube challenge. Number 2, restrictions can make you more creative. My main restriction in this challenge was the time restriction, because each video I only had a day to make, and on some of my busier days where I was doing other stuff, I didn't end up starting to film until 9 p.m, which is quite late to start filming, to then film the whole thing and edit the whole thing and make sure you can download it and post it on time and everything like that. It was especially hard because that late in the day I just wanted to relax, chill, watch some TV, go to sleep. So having restricted myself to have to post a video every day and not having a lot of time to do it meant that I came up with video ideas which I probably would have never come up with otherwise or never have made otherwise. So there's stuff out in the world, there's content I've created out in the world which would never have seen the light of day or even been created in the first place had I not been doing this challenge. Some of you might be thinking, if it's bad content, why would you want it out there? Maybe it doesn't not everything has to exist. And whilst my videos pretty much didn't get any views anyway, and I'm the target audience, if not the only audience of anybody who'd want to watch some of them, I'm glad they do exist. However, making videos in such a short amount of time also showed me that if I want to make something more meaningful or better quality, then you do kind of need to take your time planning, researching, editing, doing all the stuff that it takes to make a video. It will be better if you put more time and effort into it. But sometimes you just need to create random stuff to figure out what it is that you want or what it is that you don't want. Number 3, every experience can teach you something. Some days my only motivation to make a video was the fact that I'd set myself this challenge and I couldn't give up on it, especially when I was midway through the week and I'd already posted evidence of me setting myself this challenge. But even those videos that I sat down with not really a good idea of what to make, thinking it was going to end up pointless or silly, it helped to remind myself that probably no one was going to see it anyway, so as silly as it was, I just needed to get it done for the challenge. But even those videos ended up being something special, because honestly, some of them when I was filming them felt a bit not useful or interesting to anyone, but when I actually got to editing them, they seemed a bit better and I was able to shape them into something perhaps slightly more cohesive. But the most important thing was, from these random videos that I probably wouldn't have made otherwise, came like sparks of inspiration and ideas of things that I could make in the future with slightly more planning and slightly more care that would be better and are different to what I made, but just starting to create anything helps your mind get more creative and have more thoughts and piggyback off of other things that you said or did. It can be the smallest thing that gives you big ideas. So like I kind of already said, Even if an experience is kind of bad, or a video or whatever you make turns out kind of bad, you can always learn from it. Whether that is you learn what not to do next time, or you can take things that you liked but went kind of bad and you can improve on them for next time. There's always something that you can take from the bad things you make. So, in conclusion, you need to keep making bad things. You need to make things even if you think they're going to be bad, which leads me into my next point. Number 4, don't be afraid to be bad. Not in the Once-la, the Lorax, how bad can I be type of way. Please don't be cutting down all the trees to make Thneeds. So many people don't do things because they're afraid to be bad, or they're afraid to fail. They're afraid to be seen as a failure, or worse, not be seen at all. But, and this kind of links to what I've already said, you're not going to be miraculously amazing at something when you start doing it. And in that way, it's kind of better if you get no views in the beginning, because no one's watching you mess up and be bad. But even if you have decent skill, even if your videos are alright, or if whatever you're creating is kind of alright, you should still push yourself to create outside of your comfort zone, because that will make you come up with ideas that you never thought you could have had, which will spark other ideas and things that I've already mentioned. But you need to go outside of your comfort zone creatively to figure out what you like and what you don't like, and what your style is. How are you going to figure out your creative voice, your creative style, if you never try different things? And I know with the state of the internet and social media and negativity online as it is, it can be hard to do things and not get weighed down by hate comments. If you're even getting hate comments, if you're getting no comments, sometimes getting no views can be seen as worse than getting hate, because at least hate is engagement. I know that's scary and you can't really turn off fear, but you should do it anyway. So maybe instead of saying don't be afraid to be bad, you're allowed to be afraid, but have the courage to be bad anyway. Have the courage to be bad anyway. Number 5, it's the fun that counts. At the end of the day, no matter who's watching or not watching, you're the one who has the experience of creating the thing. And you want that to be enjoyable, and you want that to be fun, because otherwise, why are you doing it if it's not fulfilling on some level? And I know it's cliche to be like, the important thing is to enjoy it, but there were definitely days that I was dreading making videos. It was late, I was tired, I wanted to go to sleep, I didn't think I had any worthwhile things to make, so what is the point of making it anyway? I did it anyway, because I was bound by my own word of my own challenge, which I didn't have to do. But because I did it, I can tell you that they were worthwhile, and I did have fun, even when at the time, filming at the time kind of felt a bit silly. You do feel silly. Recording yourself, sitting, talking alone in your room, you will feel silly. You will feel like, what am I doing? Even if you're filming like a really insightful video essay, you're probably still at some point gonna feel like, what is happening? But don't worry. Fun things are cringe. Fun things are a bit silly. Don't be afraid to be a bit silly. But my point is, none of my videos turned out exactly how I thought they would, especially the ones where I didn't know where they were going. But in a way, if you don't have an idea of where something's going, you then have the fun of figuring out what it can be. You also learn a lot about yourself when you can just sit and talk to a camera, and then you have to watch back your unfiltered ramblings and figure out how to edit it into some semblance of a video that makes sense to people other than yourself. And you get a better sense of who you are and your personality, because even though you're watching and editing yourself, it's not the same thing, but you can sort of see how other people view you. The other thing is sometimes in the moment when you're filming, there'll be things that you think you'll have to edit out because you didn't plan on saying that. The things that sort of go wrong. But when you're watching them back, they can sometimes be the best things. They can be more funny, they can be more entertaining, maybe they're just more purely yourself. That in the end, they feel more worthy of making the final cut than the things that you plan to say. Overall, I knew that no matter what happened in this challenge, I'd have fun, because I just like making YouTube videos. And now I have ideas of different types of videos that I could make and explore in the future, and that's just more fun. Trying new things can be fun if you don't shy away. And it's something to keep you creative and busy, keeps you not doom scrolling. That's never a bad thing. And personally, I'm proud that I managed to stick to this 7-day challenge, because I knew that I would, because I knew that I would not be able to let myself fail at something which I posted on the internet and said that I was going to do. But there were many times where I was like, no one's watching, I could just give up and no one would notice. But I didn't. For myself, I didn't want to. And part of when you're putting yourself out there on the internet, part of it's got to be for your own good. No matter if people watch it or don't watch it, no matter if people love you or hate you, you've kind of got to, part of you has got to be doing it for yourself, and you need to care about what you're doing. You can't rely on the comments and the audience for validation, because they won't be there in the beginning, and then maybe the comments and the audience will be full of hate and negativity, and that's just the way it is on the internet. And then there are people that are positive, but you've got to be your biggest cheerleader, and you've got to do things for you. So my overall message to you guys is, if you're someone who doesn't have a YouTube channel but wants to start one, but you're not sure if you want to because you don't think you have anything interesting to say or anything to bring to the table, do it anyway. I'm sure you'll end up creating things that other people find the value in, but at the same time, it's not always about them. It's about you. You never know what you'll find out about yourself, or what you'll discover, or how it will go. And everyone, think about it this way. Everyone has TikTok accounts. Everyone posts random TikTok videos, and that's just how people use TikTok. YouTube, I feel like, is the attitude towards YouTube is that YouTubers make YouTube content and the everyman doesn't. It's normalised that everyone can post on TikTok, so why should it not be normalised that everyone posts on YouTube? The random stuff that you can post on TikTok. The internet is made for yapping, let's be real. The internet is made for saying random stuff, so even if you don't think it's important, it belongs on the internet. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to start a YouTube channel, but you're scared, do it anyway. Who knows what might happen. I'll leave you with this. Don't spend so long thinking about your dreams that you forget to actually create them. Bye!